What we try to do with bad man, pound them out. What is under my nose? I'm out. What is under my nose? I'm out. What we say we do with bad man? Hey, yo, come back with a banger. Yeah, man. It's another one. Ranger, what go on, my general? Nah, man, me no late, man. You missed the first round, man. This are the second show. This are the second show. Ranger, what you talk about? You're late. You miss a whole show. I'll come back with a second one right now. To mash up the place with that one, yeah. It's me, I say. Wait. What is that man was about? That man thought you were out. No, man. You tell us what I'm going to do. An hour and a half pan there, so in there, and then me out in my car as usual. Yes, people. So this is a banger. No, there is an existing situation going on with Spice and Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth. And there's mixed feelings with this. There's mixed feelings about this, and I have mixed feelings too because I am more on Spice side. As a matter of fact, I'm on Spice side with this one. Now, there is a Grace Hamilton. No. Now, man, I just wrapped up and saved the other live first and schedule it, and now I'm doing a second one. Now, man, which washroom? Now, people, there's a lot of mixed feeling going on with this one. And, I mean, I understand, but I too want to understand what is this pastor man saying. Because the first question that I want to ask Mr. Jeffrey Shuttleworth is on all the names of the schools that you called, sir, how many times have you gone to do devotions with these schools? And all the names of the school that you call Mr. Shuttleworth, Mr. Jeffrey, Apostle Shuttleworth, that's what them say your name, right? With all the names of the school you called, have you ever gone to do a motivational speech at any of these schools? Because when I think what we realize is pastors are now running race with influencers on social media to see who can go viral first. The pastors have left the church to come on social media to preach, but yet if you go into their comments and ask questions, you are blocked. Pastors, the question to you, how many of you have ever gone into a bar to preach the gospel? Pastors, my question to you, how many of you ever gone in a dance hall to preach the gospel? Pastors, my question to you, how many of you see the youth them on the roadside where smoke the marijuana and stop to preach the gospel? I'm waiting. Still waiting. Because we are yet to put down a person because of their profession and try to make them feel like they're nobody. Now, Spice do adult music, right? That means that adult music aren't for kids. So if Spice do adult music, that means they are only adult for what Spice music. Now, for some reason, there's no law in Jamaica that prohibit kids from listening music. But who is better to go into schools and talk about how they reach where they are and the steps they have to take to reach where they are? How many of these pastors are concerned that we have teachers in our country who are predators amongst our child? We see what happened yesterday. An arrest was made for one yesterday who had intercourse with a 14-year-old girl, and because she went home and cried for pain, that's how they know. So you are trying to demonize Miss Hamilton for her profession. But Pastor, if Miss Hamilton come to your church, would you not pray for her? If Miss Hamilton decide to come to your church a Sunday morning, would you shun her? But based on what going, a lot of persons are afraid to go to church because they're saying the pastor preach on them. So when you see Miss Hamilton come in church, the first thing you're going to do is preach about what she does. Now, Mr. Pastor, you took the opportunity to talk about the lyrics in our song where you go through. Why would a pastor, instead of coming and minister to people and try to bring people to God, want to sit down and dissect an artist's lyrics to prove that this artist isn't worthy to talk to kids, to encourage kids? Who is more encouraging? Who is more worthy to talk to kids? A person who is of influence or an apostle who dep on TikTok a fight for your space to be viral? Hey, let me talk, So, Miss Grace Hamilton, because that's her right name. Grace, I think it's Lataya Hamilton. It's different from Spice. Spice is an adult entertainer, not that way, that sings adult music that adults watch. Now, Spice have her journey, and a lot of us have her journey. And a lot of times we encourage others because of the journey that we have gone through. Because of the things that happen to us in life, the things that humble us in life. And you are saying that she is not qualified to go around schools, not to perform, and encourage our students on how to conduct themselves and behave themselves in certain manner because of who she is. Now, when I was growing up, I used to see some pastor like Pastor Ambrose Hines. I never forget that man. He was a teacher, but he was also a Christian who came to Montego Bay Secondary School, senior school, before it turned into, the high school, to do devotions morning after morning. Pastor Shuttleworth, or apostle, can you say you're apostle? What the Bible say about he without sin cast the first stone? Oh. Wonder if Pastor or Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth, remember that scripture there, he without sin cast the first stone. Greetings, greetings, welcome. As a matter of fact, let's talk about Saul. On the road of Damascus, our Saul was about to do or was on the mission to go do when it is said that he was struck down by God. Now, unalive, even the unalive Christians. Spice unalive nobody? You know what I realize with these people? The Bible is just only to justify certain thing. The Bible comes into play. But then I remember Peter right in front of Jesus chop off a man's ears. Huh? Are they thinking about these things before they attack these people? As a pastor, you're supposed to set a role model, but I want you to come out. I hope you see this video. I want you to come out and tell us, out of all the names of the schools that Spice was about to visit, which one of them you go any morning out of 365 days of the year last year and had a devotion with them? Which one of them you set up and went and preached the gospel to them, to the school? Which one of them you did devotion with? Which one of them you did any form of speech with? Please, I am waiting. But as what Roxy said, Apostle want him 10 minutes of fame. But these are the reasons why other people would come out and bash the church based on the fact that the church only choose when to come out and speak. We saw incident, Apostle, we just say a young lady in St. Thomas lose her life and was raped. We just see a woman who retired from the state and went home, was unalive and raped. Me not see you talk about them there. When the politicians them a thief up money and they go along with their foolishness, we don't see the church. When crime a rock Jamaica, we don't see the church come out and they say, yo, we need to do prayer. We need to do prayer and fasting for the country. The church is always quiet, but you come out now and talk about a woman who is of great influence, a woman who can go into church, into schools and teach kids on certain steps in life not to take. And at this a woman that you are shun. Ah boy. You see why the church is failing? The church is failing because the church decided to take up the business that are not for the church. Now, instead of you come on social media, come preach and try to. I tell, go to call Grace and tell Grace, say, yo, Gracie, I'm inviting you to church. And when you come out and make them kind of mistake here, people can chew, be a stone at you, come in a glass house and not chew a stone. This is the nowadays church. This is the nowadays church. She is okay to have a foundation that is giving back to kids in our country, but she's not okay. Her money is okay, but her words of encouragement is not okay based on the job that she's doing. Huh? Yeah, I asked which one of her songs she was intended to sing for kids. The same song them where she take and make money. What she do with the money? Contributed to kids education, not true. When we can never come ask about that. Eh? You talk about which one our song them she dedicated to kids or was done for kids. The song them where she do make her living. The same money where she get from the song them, she contributed to further kids' education and help kids in our country. What you talk about? Me know say no fun go run come over here come talking about no fun don't know the thing, you know. How many wait, first time you disagree with me? That is fine. Listen to this now. How is it that Spice can go talk to people, but you have artists performing in Jamaica? You have artists who sing gun lyrics, gone into school, or perform gun lyrics. You tell me that. We have seen, and we can dig up, we can dig them up and post them on my page. We have seen, as a matter of fact, Vibes Cartel didn't speak up at the University of the West Indies, huh? Oh. Didn't Vibes Cartel speak at the University of the West Indies and was intelligent enough who didn't go to university and school the people about the university? University students up there when they ask questions and what Vibes Cartel do, not steal them, no quiet them. Remember, how Uno come and attack, if you're doing the research, remember that every artist in a Jamaica, most artists in a Jamaica, go back to their school that they come from and perform. And it's okay for them to do that, but it's not okay for Spice to talk to kids. But it is also okay for this teacher them in the school predators. Yo, it just upon the news where a teacher is arrested and remanded for having intercourse with a 14-year-old child. What make the pastor never come out and talk about that? We have predators in our school, but a Grace Hamilton you watch? A Spice you watch, a Spice you have energy for? Sir, think of the things that we are earth we youth them in our school. But you're quick to come and talk about Miss Hamilton. Remember, although she's an artist, she's also a mother. And she has a daughter and a son. Raising. So put away Spice that perform to make us happy. Because you see, all woman is a hypocrite, Because go on like Spice, when Spice song come on, wind up and jiggle up with herself. Spice is performing for adults. Stage show to take on the money and go. It is good for her to wind up and dance and perform for you, but it's not good for her to talk about the youth. One Gracie, Selective outrage. Apostle Jerrery Hamilton of selective outrage because when crime and violence are going in our country, we not see him come out and speak against it. When politicians are rob up money, not see him come out and talk about it. When we see a little girl the other day was held against our will and was raped by 7 students, we never see him come out and talk about this. Teachers after teachers, male teachers after male teachers are being arrested for raping students, are having a relationship with a 14 and 13 and 12-year-old student. We're not seeing come out and talk about that. But you're quick to come out and say, Spice isn't worthy to talk to the kids in the same school them where you never go do devotion. Hey, now get me started, How many of these schools, Mr. Jerrery Shuttleworth, how many of these schools have you gone to do a devotion in the last 365 days? All the schools that Grace Hamilton was going to visit, you come out and tell us which one of them you have gone in the last 365 days to do a motivational speech to encourage the kids them to come to God. When was the last time you went out to do that? No, you're on social media, see if you can go viral. Anna, my sister, it shows. But as I said, I'll use one example. When Saul was on the road of Damascus, heading to where to kill who, to unalive who? I never preach Saul I go preach. I never preach Saul I go preach. Saul when I go unalive Christians. But it's okay for Saul to know can preach the gospel after unalive how many Christians. But something is wrong with Grace Hamilton. Oh, somebody say I work with Andrew. Somebody made one of my friends over on YouTube made a interesting comment. They comment like the apostle forgot who went there beside Jesus on the cross when they crucify him. Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth, who went there beside Jesus on the cross. No, we're not making viral. We are talking about a situation that is upsetting and upsetting me because I've seen all of it. Paul fella hit his head. Hey, timeless, me don't want to get involved in our one end of timeless. Timeless, the one end of you. Greetings, Miss Brooks. Everybody that is over on TikTok, everybody who is over on YouTube, big up on yourself. But, come on, Pastor Shuttleworth, what you talking, man? What are you talking, sir? Oh, all of a sudden, Grace Hamilton isn't worthy to talk to her kids, but Grace Hamilton is worthy to send money or donate to the kids. Wow. Not right now, love. You have to wait. And that's how we do it. We wait first and then we open the box after. So if you stick around, you'll be invited in the box. But for right now, me have to preach. Preach and teach, innit? Pastor Shuttleworth, again, the Bible where you read no say, he without sin cast the first stone. Matthew Matthew 5 verse 44 says, but I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despisefully use you and persecute you. And that the Bible says, sir. John 3 verse 16 says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. And that the Bible says, man. I Bible I say it in and me. But wait, what the Bible say about judge? Judge not unless he be judged first. So how Pastor or Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth don't know say he can't judge spies unless he be judged first. And the Bible says so, you know. So how you dare think Spice is not worthy to talk into schools, but you are not doing it. You spend time on the internet to talk about something like this and not be in the school teaching the word of God. What I say? Una lose way. When Jesus was preaching, when Jesus was on earth and was preaching, where did he go to preach? In the church? He went where sinners were. And enough for uno as pastors. Now go where the sinner them there, because you now go and run bar. Yo, that's why me say, respect my mother, you know. I love and respect my mother, you know. My mother now and a church, she want to turn up. Yo, cause enough of them think the smoking of weed, marijuana is so trifling. That they would not even see a group of young men standing up smoke and go try to preach the gospel to them. You will never see a pastor going to a rum bar go try to speak to the man them in the rum bar. You will never see a pastor going to a dance hall, and none of these places go cause it's the worldlians that are there. Rosebud, big up, Eh? Oh, no, now go away. Sinners aren't, according to them, sinners are not in the church. So why you are preach to the church? You need to go preach to the sinners them out there. You need to go look where the sinners them go. Which part the sinners them go bring them to Christ. Not so you go. And as Miss Crook say, forgive your brother 70 times 7. So Pastor Hamilton, Pastor Shuttleworth, you can't forgive grace. You are saying grace cannot. Tisha Wagwan, you are saying grace cannot contribute to our kids. But you sitting on TikTok can you who are not going in the schools can you who are not calling out the predators in the school that are troubling our kids, you can you are not going to school to teach devotion with these youth. As a matter of fact, Pastor Shuttleworth, when was the last time you take your car and pick up some little school picnic and carry them go to school? Huh? When was the last time you take your car and go to the street, pick up some school picnic and drop them at school? And encourage them about the name of the Lord or Jesus. Or invite them to church. You are on social media trying to go viral. We have seen again. If you think it is wrong for Grace Hamilton to go into schools and talk to students, she wasn't going there to perform. She's going there to talk to students. If you think that is wrong, then all these these artists were singing about gun lyrics. Why were they allowed into school to sing? We have seen it. There is so much proof out there. All of them. And I said again, Vibes Cartel was invited, not go off my own, He was invited to the University of the West Indies. And he make a student them of the university look like baby, and he never attend university. Yes, and the lyrics them were Grace though. Well, I know the music that Grace do forget her money. Her money is good enough to donate from the music, but she isn't good enough. Pastor Shuttleworth, don't forget Grace Hamilton, the mother. Don't forget Grace Hamilton, the auntie. Don't forget Grace Hamilton, the godmother. Don't forget Grace Hamilton, the friend. You should remember Grace Hamilton, the human being, and Grace Hamilton, the lady. You sit on a public platform trying to dissect Grace Hamilton music. And that you are talking about? Instead of you want more artists to come out and do the same things that Grace Hamilton do, you are having a problem with what she's doing. All right, Pastor Apostle Shuttleworth. Take your 10 minutes of fame and take your viral moment. It's always our own. And these are some of the reasons why people don't want to go to church. Pastors like you are the reason why persons out here don't want to go to church. Because if you can publicly come and state this, who you think will want to go to your church? Them not. Of course, Grace Hamilton does gospel music. But I guess because she is a sinner or a adult music entertainer, her gospel music are not recognized. You see, let's talk about Rihanna. Who is Rihanna? What is Rihanna in her country? You ever see Rihanna in her clothes? You ever see Rihanna in a good clothes yet? But she's recognized as what in her country? If your pastor come out, come display them behavior there. What you say, man? Sir, you're a disgrace. I don't even want to know use Grace name in it, you know. You're a disgrace to be on social media putting down what you would consider be a sinner than preaching to the sinner and bringing the sinner to God. You're telling the sinner is not worthy to do anything, but yet you are not doing it. If I stand for anything, yes, I stand for humanity. I stand for the same Bible where say, you forgive your brother 7 times 7. The same Bible where say, judge not unless he be judged first. The same Bible where say, he without sin cast the first stone. The same Bible where say, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. All, not some. That means that everyone away. The same Bible where say, all men were created equally. Oh yeah, say. You really want to go this with me? The same Bible where say David put him Nathan in the front of the war for then unalive him for getting wife. Huh? The same Bible where speaks right in front of Jesus. Peter pull out his sword and chop off a man's ears. The same Bible where say when God was crucified, when Jesus was crucified on the cross, who went there beside him? Was it a pastor or an apostle, or was it a thief? Go on when I go with a foolishness, man. That's why I'm telling you, I speak, when I talk about religion and sin, because someone a hypocrite. You are hypocrite can't ask no what go on. You are such a hypocrite that you don't understand, because all I want to go to church, go preach to people in a church. When the people them in a church, I need to preach to them. Out the road, and if you go look sinners and preach to them. All I want to when you say you're a child of God, you can't go preach to another child of God. You have to go preach to a person when you know God and introduce them to God. I want to feel if you do that. Want to do? Want to preach for the people them who do bad instead of they go try to help them from stop doing bad. If Miss Hamilton come to your church, you start preach for her. Oh, then the radio with the most sound of steel. We know that. We know this. We were born and grow in the church, bro. No can't fool we, We have seen what the church is about, And when anything are going in a Jamaica, the church keeps silent. But the church will come and talk about Grace Hamilton now. It's okay for women and children to be molested and raped and unalive in our country. And no church talk about it. But when Grace Hamilton decided to go into schools and talk and do an uplifting speech, it is a bad thing. Huh? Oh, oh. The same church where when a man abusing wife and the woman go to the church tell her to be quash it down and work things out. The same pastors them where we see now out a road and people are come out and talk about the pastor them and molest them and abuse them same here and grape them. The same little girl them want help and turn to the church and the church do them the same thing what sinners are do them. Go ahead now. No, come to me with them things I know. It's out there, We're not speaking out of our ass. We're speaking out of our mouth because we see these things out there. There's testimony of these things. How many pastors out there trouble kids? How many pastors out there molest kids? How many pastors name get? See, one big old pastor, why name Kevin? When them going church up in Norwood, why up there though? Unalive people. Stop going like couldn't see them, No go on like couldn't see them, And we are not saying all pastors are the same, but pastors are out here doing these things. So what I say? Don't go on like couldn't take people food. And keep quiet when all the uproar in our country. Me not see pastor them come out and say, oh, Jamaica, we need to do a 40-day and 40-night fasting because I want to go in our country. No. Me not see pastor them come out and say, yo, enough. We have to do 40 days and 40-night fasting because too much women are losing. 2 women in this week. The young lady in St. Thomas and the woman in St. Anne's. Me not see you come out and talk about them the things, the pastor. But you're out here talking about Grace Hamilton and dissecting her lyrics, them and say she's not ready to speak to kids. But I am saying, I hope you get this message and I want you to get it. I want you, with all the schools that you called that Miss Hamilton was going to visit, how many of these schools have you gone in the last 365 days to do a devotion with them? Make sure, say, you're qualified enough and you were doing devotion with them, Because you can't come out here and say, do no devotion and none of the school, but you tell Miss Hamilton that she can't go, Who is you? How qualified you are to tell people where to go and what not to do? And Kenya, I might talk. If you don't like it, you can lift up and come from over here, so come go talk about it. Because you could talk about it. You could talk till you blue corruption and slackness to discourage whether pastor or spies. But at the end of the day, you don't discourage the pastor. The whole out in the church are the same thing. As me say, when people out there, so when you come out, come cry, you coming out here, come cry. Uno come out here, so when Spice go up on stage and skin out and go on with what she go on with, and her money, she get her pay. Her money is good enough, but she isn't good enough. And all I want to forget, say, she's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister, she's a friend, she's an auntie, she's a godmother. She's all of that, but you all throw that under the rug because of the work she do. But it was okay for all the other artists them going to different schools and sing them gunman lyrics, and it was okay then. Right? She's not going to perform, she's going to talk. So you can differentiate the Grace Hamilton from the Spice. Wow. Hey, me say, uno deal with Jamaicans. Make a one Beyonce or one Jay-Z. Make one of them big rappers, something America, go down to Jamaica and see how them welcome them in a school to give motivational speech. And at them see them on a traffic picnic and them thing there. Say, on a wicked. Go away with hey, go away, man. And go away and come over here with a hypocrite self. Just like how she's good enough to give you money and contribute to you, she is good enough to talk to her kids and tell them where they're not supposed to go. Again, what uno look pan? What uno think she when I come in there do? Tell the people them of his skin out. She don't have to do that because the people them already know of his skin out. As a matter of fact, how is it that uno protect kids from spies, but you not protect kids from the teacher them we abuse them and molest them. Again, a last night news come out where a teacher had intercourse with a 14-year-old twice this month. And the little penny go home go ball for pain. And when they carry my doctor, then realize, say, a teacher a molest her. But Pastor Shuttleworth or Apostle Shuttleworth, now see that, eh? No, man, you see that too, man. You see that and talk about that to Pastor Shuttleworth. You can't be objective in a way you talk, man. You can't be biased, man. But again, make sure you have trace of you going to all these schools where spies were supposed to go. You see, all them schools where spies were supposed to go. Make sure, say, you can show us in the last 365 days that you have been to even one of them go do a one devotion or go do a motivational speech to the kids there. Mr. Want to be TikTok famous, I just say you're there right now. All Apostle Shuttleworth, all Pastor Shuttleworth is doing is on TikTok trying to be viral like us. Competing with sinners to see who can go viral first. And that you're there on social media. Because me see all I want to come on social media and say we're a Christian. When people like us are, when anybody coming out on a platform and ask questions, on block them. When then come in on a platform and ask on a question and block them. Hmm? All they do, and when they come in there and ask on the block them. Block on the block them. Because they can't come in and they can't question the youth them. We can't be biased when it comes to if as me say, do the same thing to everybody. You can't be biased when it comes to certain things. You can't be biased. Cough again, mama, let me hear you.
Sorry, I was trying to clear my throat as best as I can before. Can you hear me?
Yes, mama, I can. Go ahead.
All right, beautiful people, blessings. And no pardon me for all my soul. Maybe I struggle. This is a topic that I wanted to do on my page too, but me over here run off a quarter cylinder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make this quick. You see the convenient outrage that we practice is a part of our problem. Convenient outrage. If we would take this approach to everything that we deem inappropriate, and try to bring some semblance of decency and morality to the front, then things would be different. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if she was making a donation, the objection would not come. If she did come bearing money, the objection would not come. I don't know this Mr. Apostle, whatever. I've never heard of him until now. Maybe it's just me. But I am going to think that maybe if he was as forceful in objecting or highlighting the things that are wrong in our country, maybe the name would ring a bell. No, let me backtrack a little bit. I know Spice had her treat. And when I saw her giving out bags after bags, books after book voucher, I never see no pastor, no bishop, no deacon, nobody come and object to not to her giving out those things. It's the same individual it's coming from. No, judging from what she shared, we know her story. Homeless at one point, don't even have underwear good for drop on her behind. She spoke about all of that. Who better to talk to these children more than about elevating yourself, stay out of the trenches than those who trod the trenches, who walk through the trenches. Them say fish come from water bottom and tell you say it deep, you must believe. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
So if she walk a certain path and she's going to come, I biggest pants me ever see Spice in, and I'm not even a Spice fan like 'cause anybody know me a Christian. I am not a Spice fan, but even her dressing, so you recognize that she was mindful of where she was going.
Yes,
She
100%.
was aware of what it entails and what is expected of her. So, from the physical appearance, she made sure she started from there. Now, you are telling me that somebody who has gone through certain situation, certain misfortune, you are telling me that these people have no bearings, no foot to stand on to tell somebody else, say, listen, baby girl, I have done this, I have gone here, and this is what it brought me, and this is what it ended up in. So I am here as a living testimony to say to you, don't walk that path.
Mm.
You are telling me, even if we go back for those who believe in the Bible and those who don't believe, just take it for the stories that it comes with. We notice that God never go to the ideal people. Them talk about the manger, them talk about the donkey, them talk about Lazarus, them talk about the woman with the issue of blood. If we were just supposed to tap into the elite and those from the upper echelons that we want to think that those are the people who should represent us at all times, those examples would not exist. And for those who turn their noses up and talk about this and that, if God was supposed to go off our basis of what we do and our own merit, you and I would not be here.
Facts, facts.
Let's not play pretend because this is what we do. And because we are in such an era where sensationalism is just at the forefront, and we do that all the time. And we are in an era where we massage people's ego. And even when they are wrong, we are saying, oh, yes, well, there, that is how it is, and whatever, whatever. You understand me? We cannot come and nitpick and put people, because the people that you would want to do it, are they turning up? The same apostle, did he arrange a school tour so he himself could go in and speak to these children, motivate them? Did he bring a deacon with him? Did he bring a junior minister with him? Did he bring the choir master with him? Did he bring any one of those who are aspiring to be on the junior choir, the senior choir, or anything? Did he arrange any sort of school tour in light of what they see is happening, in light of the music that they object to and I may object to, in light of the messages that come from these artists, these DJs, and you think that it is falling on the ears of our children and it is helping to corrupt them. Do you put things in place to mitigate against all of these things that are happening? But you come out and you jump out. And that is the reason why we'll always be coming at the back like a certain part of the pig run a back. You understand me? Because we think that the messenger should be of certain elite. We think that the messenger should be of a certain caliber and they should come from a certain upper echelons, or else we don't put them in the forefront of the mind. We have things that are happening in the society, raping, molestation, and we can find that happening in the very church that we want to talk
No,
about. So if we are talk, make we talk now. If
talk
we
to it
talk,
now.
make we talk now. You understand me? Some of these people, because someone will be like, sit down in a Jesus lap, Bible thumping people who are there as deterrent. I remember many, many years ago, about 28 years ago, I went to a crusade in St. Mary. And when I was there, I remember the pastor was preaching, and the pastor said, some of you people coming like a big cow. And when he said that the night, something in my heart, and I said, how this pastor out order? You are describing people as big cow. But he went on and he said, some of you Christians are real stumbling block. Uno go and stand up in the doorway. And if you no stand up, I not stand up front way. When people are coming, you no use no honor and buck them back, bland them way back out of the gate. And he said, if you no turn round, you do behind, spread out in the doorway, you no use no tail and slap them back out, then bland way back out there. So when he said that, I understood what he meant. Because some of us who behave as if we are appointed from the day the sperm goes swim and attached to the egg. We have never done anything wrong. We have never said anything wrong. We never slip. We never slide. We never have to go and bawl to him for forgiveness. We never have to come and drape up with oneself and say, girl, what were you doing? What were you thinking? Why did you say that? You understand? But we are here to condemn people who we see are resilient people, whether we like the methodology in which this person come to prominence or not. That's beside the point. You understand me? I have seen where you have reformed murderers and
Mhm.
all these people who come back and say, listen, I did the crime, I did the time. Now I am in a better place. I am here to say to you, don't tread that road that I've walked on, because this is not beneficial to you, to your parents, to anybody who is in your circle, who is affiliated with you. Why could not they give Grace Hamilton some grace? Why couldn't
Because,
they give her grace?
but we also see entertainers, artists the same way. Lieutenant Stitchy, Papa San,
Okay.
what's your name? Spice no raw like Lady Saw, but they
No,
can
but
accept Lady Saw, but them can't accept Spice. Oh,
no, because you know what it is too, and it is sad that the people who we want to hold in a certain space, they're also clout chasers as well, and we realize that the likes and views where people are run down. Many people are not exempted. People in the church like it too. We like the clout. So when you call that name and you call that name, yes, I am apostle so and so. Sometimes what we need to do, we ourselves are our own stumbling block. Sometimes we need to get out of the way of prosperity for people. So though we have certain accolade, marmalade, and lemonade behind our names, sometimes we need to excuse ourselves. And if we are well-thinking people and we are honest and we have morality, waving morality flag high, we know that sometimes, or we are leaning to the same Bible that we want to throw in people's face. We are
mhm.
leaning to our own understanding and we are taking it out there because this is how I feel. And then because you have people who lead and they are led blindly, they anything you say, they jump onto the wagon, so you get people supporting you. I kid you not. If this woman had organized a tour to donate to different schools, they would not object.
Yep.
We would not object. And let me say this before me close my mouth and me they are fight for talk and my chest not right.
Mhm.
Why don't we see apostle up front and his cronies? When a young girl is missing, there was one the other day, they sent 3 minutes mostly from her house.
Yeah, man.
She
This
was
week, this
taken,
week.
and yes, and do whatever. You don't come out and champion a cause like that.
What
Calling.
wait before you go no further. Remember the lady this week too that retired and came home.
All right. So we have two in immediate circumstances.
Mm.
Why don't we see you at the forefront, championing the cause, appealing to these hoodlums?
More stop here again, you know. Just last night news come out with the teacher where we have intercourse
Wait,
with
wait, wait, wait,
in
wait.
their
That's
house.
a different story now. Hey, hey, wait. Because listen to me now. That me want chat about pass me page too. Because Jesus, you know, because I'm a teacher by profession. Listen,
Yeah.
that I want different kind of story. So you understand me? But we have seen time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
I myself have cried for students and children and women that I have not seen. I have no affiliation to. I've never heard of them before. But the loss that family suffers, the gap that left, the trauma that left, the psychological effect that it has on people who are affiliated, who are related to these people is more than tongue can tell. And I found myself crying in different times for these people that I did not know and will never know anybody for them, possibly until the good Lord takes me home. And I don't see no apostle, whatever you want to call them, what they call themselves now, prophetess, prophet, and what, I don't see them out here. And I would think that that and those things is much more than the speech that Grace Hamilton, because she make it vehemently clear that she was not going to turn up as Spice,
Mm-hmm.
but as Grace Hamilton, the mother. And we can look at her own children. I don't see nobody say her children are tearing down anywhere, causing any issues and all those things anywhere. So that simple mean the mother Grace Hamilton is doing something right with her child. You understand me? I see Cardi B, Mrs. WAP, as I found out, and I've seen her gone back to different schools, must see her alma mater, and they allow her to speak. And but you know what we are in Jamaica? We are prime people who major in minor things too much, and this is why we have such a problem. We glory in majoring in minor things because the things that they are screaming at us, the things that, can you imagine you sit in a class and you sit beside this young lady where every time she come, you borrow her pencil, she borrow your rubber, do whatever, or no share, whatever, and you turn up tomorrow for school. The seat is empty. Miss, where Shashana? First of all, the teacher have to hold her breath. And the brain have to click in because you have to have a way of saying this to your student too. Just imagine when the teacher have to say to that child, she will never return because her fate was decided by hoodlums, by people who we would rather not traverse this land we love. You know why I do to that picnic every time she turn around and she look at that empty desk and chair? And I can tell you because I've taught students who, and I can say this. One Sunday morning when I got a call and they said, Smitty, are you standing or are you sitting? I say, I'm standing. And they said, oh, maybe you should sit. I said, Jesus, what is this? One of my students, when I look at her, the throat was slashed and blood was leaking like a turn on a pipe. I had to look at that. And that was one of my most respectful students. You hear what I said to you? That young lady, you don't see her with one strand of hair out of her head. Nothing pulled. She was always nice, respectful, does her work on time. Do you know what that do to you? Or does to anybody? But we don't see these people coming out and speak about these things. We don't see these people putting in things in places to help with counseling these children who have to face these things, who have to come to terms with these things. But you have one lady who, because it's not gospel song she's singing and she's skin out or whatever, say, and then the question begs, how do you know what she sings say?
Him say when I dissect it, him say he was looking through the he was reading through the lyrics of her song. As a
Oh,
pastor, you sit down and dissect spice music. Instead
okay.
you should have sit down and dissect the word of God. And that's the old
Okay.
best you can go out there and preach it.
Oh,
And that may I tell you about that. Yo,
I God forgive me. And as I said, people, I'm a Christian under construction because God knows say there are days when I slip up. No, me not go do certain things that are nothing, but you know how we are. We are flawed human beings. And chances are, I'm going to sit down the offering plate in a one lap, with remote in a hand and spice pan if the screen has skin out or whatever, while him a dissect. You understand me? Don't allow these people to fool you. Because when we come and we want to do things a particular way without any thought and any sincerity in it, but you know that this is going to provide a viral moment. Your name is going to be called over and over again. For those who did not know you, they are going to research you. For those who know the name but did not know a face, now they are going to search to put a face to the name. So fame of the game is what it is called. Cloud chasing, likes and views. We know. So when you want to use God as a clickbait, and I know, me going to shut up my mouth now, that many of these people who, when they want to do things and hide behind it, them beat you with Jesus. Them use Jesus and beat you. You understand me?
Mhm.
So don't be tricked. We know that when it comes to, and the last thing before I jump off, I had an acquaintance, let me say this properly, as so as not to give out too much information. And when this person was at her wit end, had two children, nothing coming in, nothing going out, had 2 pounds of flour left and some salt. And she thought that she had failed those children so much, and she thought that she could not go, and she was ready to take her life. And she got situated that evening, and she got the 2 bottles of pills and yada yada yada. She took them and she waited. The door knock. It was somebody's husband from down a bar who saw her traversing that pathway to go back and forth because she was a teacher. But there were many things happening. No fathers. The fathers were very much alive and well, but they did not pay their role. Who God, for some reason, the man said that he was down there, and is a spirit just said to him, say, because they have a bar, they have a supermarket section, and they have a restaurant. And the man said, clear as day, like him here, somebody come and say, listen to me. You see that teacher lady? Pack some stuff and, and bring it to her. Remember, no, they did not have a conversation.
Mhm.
He packed 2 boxes. And when he went and he knocked, put them on the step, and he was knocking, she was not answering. And he said, I know that you're in there. Answer. And she waited and waited for him to leave the yard. And he walked away, start up the car, but he did not move. She opened the door and he shouted and he said, that is for you. They did not have a conversation. And my reason to share this part that I won't share the other is that God will use anybody who he sees fit that can carry out the mandate.
Mhm.
It is not for us to judge who is supposed to be. If murderers can reform, you understand me? All sorts of people can reform. You're telling me that this young lady cannot find a positive message to bring to the children. She cannot be that person that may be the catalyst that said, I have done this and it did not work out. So I am telling you as a living testimony, don't go there. Don't do this. Listen to your parents. Do this. And you're telling me that you cannot find no good in that person. And one question that I want people to think about before I jump down now. Just take a minute in the comment and tell me that you think that every individual that is on this earth, do you think that these people who have done wrong, that they're all bad? Let us just take a moment. And if you think that they're all bad, why do you have people who may hurt your family member, but they'll go out on a limb to protect theirs? So while I see the wrong side of them, what the other person see, somebody who's protecting me. So I am saying, you may find a little tips of good in each person, whether we like to admit it, yes or no. Can good people do something wrong? Answer that question too. Do you think people who have done bad can do something good as well? Just think on these things. And I'm not championing the cause for those who are running rampant and doing heinous crimes on this earth. Let me make that clear. Because someone will come like on a brain, put in back way, you know. So when people talk, you know, pick some things down and run with it. So let me make that vehemently clear. We're not championing the cause for any wrongdoings. But I'm saying to you, you have people who have trod this way and have done things and they are reformed. They recognize what they have done wrong. Some had to pay the penalty by being behind bars and other things. But when they come forward, they recognize that what they did was wrong. So now they have a different message. Just like the other day, I heard Cartel saying that the cartel then could not motivate your picnic like that. But the cartel now may have things positive to say to your child. The same cartel, and I am not a cartel fan, that used to say that God does not exist, have a different tune singing now. So just put these things in your pipe and smoke it. If Spice have a positive message, I think she should be allowed. Because some of the people who put themselves out there, you have positive messages, but you have heinous actions that you are doing behind closed doors. It all amounts to the same thing. Tighten up, Jamaica. The convenient outrage is what is a part of what is holding us down and holding in a part that we are going backward instead of making steps forward. You understand me? And we need to remember that it's not all about you. Even though you may have the pen in certain situation, we have to learn to remove ourselves from out of the way and allow the goodness that needs to be represented, need to be spread, need to be heard, and allow it to permeate the streets and the walls and the schools and the ears of our students and girls and women and men. We need to take ourselves out of the way. Some of us are prime stumbling blocks while pretending to champion in the cause of morality when we know that's not what we're really doing. We are roadblocks, we are roundabout, we are dead ends when some of us step into certain place. Remove yourself from it. It's not about you. It's about the mass and how it's going to benefit them and how it will be received. Come on, man. I me think me chat too much now, so me go mute.
All right. So, people, all right, we hear from none other my friend that. I don't care what you want to say. Anything we have to say about her, just to make me hear, because me go tell her. Anyway, what we are going to do is going to take this conversation and we're going to end on YouTube, but we're going to take this conversation to you TikTok. So all my friends that are here, please head over to TikTok. We're going to take it to TikTok. We're going to end on YouTube. So people, thank you very much for making this what it is on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in, comments, like, and all the shares. Big up on yourself, but head over to TikTok now. That's where we're going to continue for a few hours. All right. Logging out here on YouTube. Mama Tara, big up yourself. Ranger, go over YouTube, over TikTok. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen that are in the comment section, head over TikTok. Right there. Good vibes. That it is. One ready over TikTok. One ready. That's it right there. One ready over TikTok. So head over TikTok. We're gonna continue this conversation because I want to allow a lot of persons to come in the box. So thank you very much again. Mama Tara, big up yourself. And again, we're going over TikTok. We're out over YouTube. Yeah, man. Big up.